It's not just fruit wine that's exclusive to the Detroit map. Across the border you'll find Canada, and in Canada there's no prohibition. In this video you'll find out how to gain access to Canada and what you can do there. First, we need to find someone who can get the ball rolling. The game isn't really helpful, so you'll have to look around manually. You're looking for a Canadian business owner within your territory with whom you have a favor. When you see a red maple leaf in the dialogue options, you've found it. The Border Interests mission costs $1,500 to complete. I came prepared. And here we are, in Windsor, Ontario. We have a building and new crew member driving a pickup truck. First thing to do is to familiarize ourselves with our Canadian home corner and our Canadian headquarters. Medium commercial space isn't huge, but it's decent. The passive productions aren't very helpful though. We can't sell these barrels. Here's where we are on the map. Time to do some exploring. Some businesses will offer missions that send goods over the river to Detroit, like this one. Problem is we need $1,500 to complete it, and we have no income of our own. Nor do we have direct access to the funds in Detroit. Herein lies the challenge. Luckily, our friendly furniture store owner has a way to smuggle money across the river. Excellent, let's do that. And since we need the full $1,500, we'll go for that option. It loses a couple of relationship points, but that's nothing. And here's the money we just sent over. If we go pick it up, we can go and complete the mission. The problem is our Detroit contact won't offer to send money over for another 12 turns. For now, let's just stick to spending turns exploring more of the Canadian side of the map. If we want to find booze to smuggle across the river, we have to see where we can buy it. This person can introduce us to someone they know. Let's do that. We need to make some friends around here. Here's a tip. If you don't have 5 or more movement points left to start moving forward through an undiscovered part of the map, move back 1 step and then click where you want to go. Since the first step only costs 1 movement, it will start and then do the rest for you next turn. In case you're wondering what you can or can't do in Canada, there are no police officers to bribe. Buying booze isn't illegal here after all. You don't have rival outfits to deal with. But there are hooligans you can fight or make deals with. You can't establish any fronts. Nor can you extort businesses into paying you protection money. You can't really sell anything either. And if you try to buy a car, it gets delivered to your safe house in Detroit, not Windsor. So don't waste your hard-earned Canadian money on buying cars. After around 2 months of exploring the map, we have enough XP to level up our Canadian crew member. An extra action point won't go amiss. And hey, we found a corner hooligan's territory. Will they want to be friends is the question. Nope, no, they did not want to be friends. We'll have to send him back home to heal up from his injuries. What happens if your Canadian dies? I don't know. I haven't wanted to risk finding out. Can you hire more crew? Yes and sort of no. You can hire a building manager, but for any others, you need have a second car in Windsor to assign them to. I've skipped ahead to a different save of the same game. It's July 19, 26. For some reason the previous save generated a male crew member, but the one in the save, and in my active game, is a woman. I don't know how or why it changed. As you can see, we discovered some more alcohols across the border, so we can now see Canadian businesses who are willing to sell products like bottled vodka. There are some abandoned hooligan cars you can loot. They don't tend to have much in them, and they don't go away from the map once looted. I don't know why. It's not like you can claim them. Along with Canadian whiskey, you should find some second, third, and fourth tier alcohols to buy in Canada, but not necessarily all 12 of them. For reference, I can buy 7 in total. Backroom beer, sparkling cider, bathtub gin, bottled vodka, champagne, bottled and spiced rum. Time to get some of that stash over to Detroit. Let's load up the truck and go to someone who is willing to smuggle it across. Unfortunately, you can't send items from Detroit to Canada, only money, but items smuggled from Canada to Detroit arrive instantly. And here they are in our Detroit safe house. Looks like we can do another international transfer. This time we'll let them skim some off the top as a thank you. It doesn't give a huge boost by any means, but still.
Let's call it a morale boost. I'm a nice guy.
Back in Canada, someone has a mission for us. We've just sent over some money, so we can afford to complete it and see what happens. Because the booze we get has been sent directly to the packing house, we need to go fetch it before we take them up on the offer to ferry it across the river. When you ask someone to smuggle things across, they take everything in your vehicle except money, so make sure to fill it as much as you can, but without accidentally exporting the weapon you use. Some hooligans in Detroit will offer to smuggle $500 across the river for you. It's quick, usually comes around quicker than the furniture store, and they only charge an extra $50. So it's a good return on investment. We've skipped ahead to March 1930. In the meantime, I decided to see if you could set up a speakeasy in Canada. It took many turns to get enough money across to buy furniture and set up shop. But it worked. The packing house is now a supper club. It's bringing in the cabbage so I can send things across the river whenever I want without worrying about money. I have set up an automated route for my Canadian crew member as well. She automatically buys all the alcohol I can buy in Canada that the supper club can sell. The ones you can see in the list are the ones I can buy. Some seeds don't seem to generate Canada properly, so you can end up without being able to buy any alcohol at all. My first Detroit seed was like that. And it made the whole Canadian game function pointless. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. It's now December 1932, and the supper club has been upgraded to a fine dining restaurant so it can sell champagne as well. I also discovered that a business-minded hooligan could get me a car on the ground here in Ontario, and with another car I could hire another crew member. And then I was offered another car. And another. I now have a crew of 4. Plus the manager. Having a larger crew, I could put one pickup truck on buying second-tier alcohol, and another on buying third and fourth tier. The others speak to hooligans occasionally. That's about it. I usually skip their turns. To be honest, Canada the country is more fun and interesting than this game feature. It's quicker and easier to buy and make things in Detroit. The effort versus reward and return on investment isn't really there. But at least it's different. That's all for now. And remember, you can't be half a gangster.